I will inform you guys, this is not a complaining video of me thinking the continuation of EV0's comic Eeveelution Squad, Dream Heroes shouldn't have been canceled. I do not know if it should have been canceled or not. Your opinions are your opinions, and I am indifferent if the continuation happened. Now, this video will contain many spoilers for Eeveelution Squad. Obviously, we'll talk about basically all of the potential that characters had and what the continuation might have brought. Anyways, uh, let's start with Eevee the Sunshine, or Sunshine the Eevee, whatever. So Sunshine, basically, her story was Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, aka Solar Flare, and Speed found this egg in the tree. And then the egg cracked, like, probably mere hours later, and Sunshine was born. And then for the rest of the comic, she just tagged along as Speed was her stepdad, technically. Many jokes about that in the comic, but if you want to read it, go ahead and read it. Anyways, I wanted to talk about Eevee here because there's no backstory for her because we already saw when she was an egg. Literally when she was an egg. So why wouldn't we need a backstory? Not a backstory for Sunshine, I may add, but her parents. Because we never find out what happened to Sunshine's parents. That's what we're talking about here. What happened to Sunshine's parents? We have zero clue. We don't know who they were, what they did, what their names are, anything. We don't know if they were evolutions, if they were still Eevees, maybe. Maybe that would have been cool. But continuation could have had, like, maybe they were, like, out exploring, like the crew out exploring, like maybe speeding Sunshine, visiting, like, a new town or something. And they find, like, this old Eevee with glasses, like this old Eevee, like not an evolution, just an old Eevee with glasses, which is like a librarian. Maybe because of Glaceon could have been there. I don't know, something like that. Could have been like a librarian, and he talked to Speed and stuff, and then Eevee just come. This is like, Daddy, and he's like, what? And yeah, you know what? It could have happened. Like, something could have happened with Eevee's parents. I think Eevee's mother being dead and her father being alive makes a very good parallel with Jolteon because his mother was alive and his father was dead. So you see what I'm doing here? Like, it's basically like anti-Jolteon. Like, Jolteon's always that serious guy, and Sunshine is always the opposite of that. It's always cheerful and naive, while he's all knowing and serious. And she's a little girl, and he's an old man. So, like, you see what I'm doing here? Like a parallel with the two of them. East Sunshine could have represented what Jolteon could have been without his siblings and stuff. It could have made some nice storytelling, but you know, that's just my opinion. So now let's move on to some side characters. Bolton Rin. I think Bolton Rin could have had backstory because as soon as we saw them in chapter 12, they were already evolutions. We never saw their Eevee forms. We never saw how they met. They could have had an insane life story. Could have been boring, but still. Brian and Blaze could have had the same thing. Frank as well. Basically all, like, the side character, all of, like, Pearl's family and shit. Except for Frank, I guess. I feel like they could have had more of a history. Like Frank and his wife, what happened to that? Could have, like, met his wife, because his wife may or may not have been a ditto, and I can't say for sure because when I saw her, she kind of looked like a ditto, but I can't tell. So I feel like they could have used more backstory. Maybe not as tragic as everyone else, but backstory at least. So, you know, something. And yeah, I think this is about it for this video. Maybe with some more background characters. And yeah, this continuation, if it did happen, we could have actually gotten like more side characters, like CC. What happened to that? CC was a mistake. And OC, she was never meant to be an actual character. She was just there and stuff. So like, I personally think EV0 learned from his lessons from that last time and could have actually improved the story, giving side characters more of a backstory, more of a tragic backstory, if you will. Like maybe Frank could have been like a bullied kid, a victim, and like Bolt could have been like a victim of bullies and been saving him. That would have been cool, or literally anything. So that's it for this video. If you like more, if you want more content like this, hit like and subscribe, and I might make some theory videos about the actual comic instead of a possible continuation. The Zomba Show out.